Eclipses bring powerful transformation and, in some cases, intense experiences that manifest through a period where maybe you're in the dark about matters that are developing or set to emerge. Now, events can eclipse something out of your life, but the intent is to bring fresh energy meant to prod you in a direction of further development and soul growth. And the lunar eclipse is more so attuned toward inner change, and the solar eclipse manifests outwardly in the external world. Now, the card for this moon that is assigned is the Ten of Pentacles, which suggests that history has a bearing on the future, particularly in matters of wealth. There's a pronounced emphasis on the sign of Virgo, as this is a card that's tied to Mercury in Virgo, and this moon is in Virgo. So this is a period where plans, thoughts, and communication are tied to services, improvement, duty, and obligation. And over the next 6 months, you're going to want to take greater responsibility in matters that tie to your security and in concern for others that matter to you. This includes strong family ties, maybe concern for a parent or your own issues of aging, and in some cases, marriages that have a direct correlation to business or money. And some of you may be very focused on matters related to the future that include discussions about taxes, inheritance, insurance, savings, or if you're lucky, maybe even a lottery win. If you're self-employed, maybe you want to expand in some way, or maybe you want to sell your business. And for those of you who have been wanting to start a business, you may receive support from your friends or relatives to help you realize that goal. Some of you, maybe you're looking at good investments or major purchases, closing business deals, or securing a safety net. The goal is stability for the long term, especially through major life transitions. But there's also a caution that implies a measured approach is called for, and you may need to weigh the pros and cons of any problem you're facing before taking action. This is a cycle where you won't be inclined to rush, and it may be important to carefully examine what's involved in a situation. In some cases, maybe you're seeking some sound advice. On the other hand, you may be a specialist of some sort. Maybe you are developing more than one skill on which you can rely if need be in the case of an emergency, something to fall back on. For some of you, you're working on a long-term project that requires patience. It may be something very laborious or very detailed. Or maybe you're working on some kind of craft where you have to pay really close attention, or something that involves restoration. For others, maybe the task is about writing or teaching or some ability to pass on information. So the focus is on those who are mentally adept with highly specialized skills, and those who can sort through the chaos caused by those less efficient. Now, the negative is a family influence that may go just a little bit too far. Maybe it stifles the independence or the freedom of its members. So, this can mean like being pressured into a marriage or a career for the wrong reasons. Or it might suggest staying in a situation in which you've become reliant or you've grown comfortable financially. For example, maybe you have a high-paying job or a position of status, but it's not fulfilling. You might even hate your job, but you now fear leaving it due to the possible economic consequences. For some, you're actually dealing with financial losses or family problems or domestic issues that have turned into family estrangement or disapproval. Maybe you're rejecting certain family patterns or values or dealing with conflict within the family over money. Some of you're having to take on the financial responsibility of someone else. Maybe it's the care for a sick parent, or maybe you're just addressing the burdens that come with wealth, or you're trying to tie up loose ends related to a death in the family. You might even be dealing with health issues yourself, allergies or conditions that never bothered you before, but now require attention. Or maybe it's something that has been inherited, in your family history. And if you're trying to get a loan or credit, it might be challenging depending on your particular circumstance. And if you do get something, the interest rate might be exorbitant. In the broader outlook, there can be concerns related to government and large corporations. And with the key word, this might indicate some problematic situations that incite violence. Whatever the case is, even if you've reached a pinnacle of personal and material success, you're taking this period to ask yourself, what now? What's the next step? What's out there? And for some, this might mean, you've already accomplished something materially. That's no longer your concern. Now you're dedicating your life to a higher service, philanthropy, charitable endeavors, or sharing your wealth of knowledge. So this is a cycle where you're building on what you've achieved thus far, and it might mean the discomfort of breaking with tradition or taking some calculated risks. It's one where the focus is achievement and recognition, and your approach determines whether you advance or you undermine that very objective.